It's just an excuse that you're making to yourself if you don't think this is possible. I just closed a trade like an hour ago for $2,200 profit. So that's not bad, but typically I'm only putting on 4 to 5 positions a month. And that's what I always say. It's like you don't need to sit on your computer, put on 8 trades a day. You just need 4 or 5 good trades a month and you can still make 6 figures a month trading. My name is Mark. I am 21 years old. I'm a full-time trader in the stock market and I live in Malibu, California. I think like doing something that's very non-typical. I didn't actually even want to like follow that typical college route. I think people hate if you're doing something outside of the norm, or especially when you start doing well and people kind of get that jealousy because they wish they could be in your spot. It was pretty clear to like my teachers in school when I decided that that was not my main top priority and I was not too focused on what was happening in the classroom. I ended up finishing my junior year and never went back for senior year in high school. I ended up getting my diploma online afterward because my mom encouraged me to. Otherwise I wouldn't have, and I never ended up going to college. I actually moved out when I was 18, moved straight to LA. I definitely think I'm glad that I probably avoided $200,000 in student debt. I think it's just like anything, like if you want to do something and be the best in it, you will have to sacrifice almost everything in your life. Life with your friends to time that you would spend, you know, maybe otherwise playing video games or watching TV, just kind of the things that people do to get enjoyment in life. You have to really just commit yourself 100%. And so I was quite literally sitting in my room all day, just focusing on trading. Even like school vacations, that's all I did. I sat home and I traded. And so I think I missed out on like maybe a big part of the social aspect of like growing up and, you know, hanging out with people, but I don't regret anything. Just the fact that I didn't want to be stuck in the system of going to school or working a 9 to 5 or having my parents take care of me. I just wanted to be independent. I wanted to be free, like financially free. I wanted to be out on my own. I want to get out of the small town I lived in. And I saw like trading as the gateway to do that. And then I think what then inspired me to actually start this educational company was because when I began having that success through trading, you know, my friends and family noticed and they started asking for me to teach them. And so my mom actually said, why don't you just create like a class where you can teach people everything you've learned and how you're finding the success, but you don't actually need to spend all of your time working with them personally. That kind of segued into then getting on social media and then growing this company and helping anyone out there who wants to learn how to trade find that success in the market. Yeah, I mean, if anyone's interested in learning how to trade or copying my trades, there'll be a link in the description below to my mentorship group where you can apply. So I'm a swing trader. Now I used to day trade, but I've transitioned into swing trading 100% of the time. And essentially that just means that I'm holding my positions over 3 to 5 days. This year, I'm trading with a $500,000 account. And every time I put on a trade over inside my mentorship group, I let my students know when I enter that position and then when I go ahead and close that position. So essentially giving my students access to see and copy my trades if they so desire. So there's this added level of pressure and stress, but at the same time, when I set out to start this educational company, I wanted to show people that, you know, their mentor was actually successful in what he was teaching. And so along with the education that I put together, people get access to kind of look over my shoulder in a way. I think what I like the most about working for myself is, again, just the fact that you do not have someone essentially narrating your life, like telling you like when to work, what to do for your work. Like, especially in trading, you are in this playground, if you will, where there are no rules, unlimited potential. You decide how hard you want to work, when you want to work. And so it just gives you this ultimate freedom and flexibility, and the fact that you can just make money literally wherever. Like, I could decide to hop on a plane tomorrow and travel across the world and I could still do my job and make money. And I don't know any other job that quite literally offers that much freedom and flexibility as trading does. So I think in the beginning, especially when I started making a good amount of money, I was just spending, and that's normal. I think that's everyone. And then as you mature, as you grow up, you become more aware of like, okay, what am I actually spending money on? And obviously I have bookkeepers and accountants that help me do that. And so while I am aware of obviously like financials, I have people that help me make decisions, because I think when it comes to me, just who I am, like I think I could maybe be one of the least frugal people ever if I let myself be, and I've been through that stage, but I've matured and I've become like more aware of like what the value of money actually is. At one point I felt like I was so detached from the actual value of money that I was just spending like, I had $500 million. I think when you are trading and you see your P&L on a screen, you just become numb to like, when you see everything digital and you see all your money digital and you never get like actual physical money or checks, like it's all on your broker and you withdraw and it just doesn't seem real. It just detaches you from the value of money because it is just part of your job, making and losing. I definitely enjoy spending money on travel, on cars. I've owned, some really nice cars, and I've had fun traveling, staying in very nice places, spending 10, 15,000 just on a week worth of Airbnbs. So I think experiences in life are one thing that I like splurging on, or myself, like to educate myself, because at the end of the day, like education is the one thing that no one can take away from you. I think one thing that this guy told me once, now he was worth probably $500 million, and I talked to him for 2 hours, and his biggest piece of advice was like, have a war chest, build a war chest. And that just means like, have enough money so when things aren't going well, you'll be fine, you can make it through the hard times. And then when you have opportunities, you can take that money, invest in those opportunities, and come out so much further ahead. I think one of my worst financial mistakes, or maybe two, we're just buying cars way over market value, or when the market was really high and putting, a couple $100,000 into a car where I could have put that into an apartment, a house, an asset that would actually gain in value. Like my G-Wagon right now, I'd lose probably $80,000. So I put myself in that position through being like impulsive buying. I definitely think in the future, I'm looking to get into real estate, even if it's just in the means of me owning multiple properties where I don't have to rent, I don't have to burn money. I'm putting that money into, an asset that's getting them to cash flow. I think I'm very happy with where I am right now, what I've done, although not content. Like I'm always setting goals, I'm always pushing myself. I don't think I'll ever sit back and just be like, all right, I made it. Like when it comes to personal improvement, when it comes to, making more money, becoming a better trader, growing this company, working on other ventures, projects I have outside of kind of this, it's something that's ever growing, ever expanding. And so, yes, I've done well, I think, especially for my age, but I think at the end of the day, I really love what I do. I'm passionate about trading, passionate about helping people, educating. That gives me like a deeper fulfillment and meaning in what I do. And then just personal growth and development, it's something that I'm always gonna work on, that's never gonna stop. And I think people look at where I am like online and be like, oh, he's made it. But in my mind, it's like, oh, I haven't even gotten started. So I think for anyone out there who is like, wow, this is so far unachievable, like the place he's in, like me right now, that's not how I'm thinking. If you realize that it's all a perspective. Money's a perspective, success is a perspective. The more success you have, the more money you have, the more you've, worked on yourself. Like you look back on that, you see the progress, you don't feel like you're sitting on top of this high hill, you feel like you're at the bottom of the hill and you have a long way to go. And so I think take that as an very motivational thing, to know that like this is not far from your achievement, from someone watching this actually being in the position I am. Like you can get out there, you can make this happen. There's no limit, there's no boundary to what you can make happen. And so it's just an excuse that you're making to yourself if you don't think this is possible.